Martina Navratilova was asked how she maintained her focus, her physique, and her fine game at the age of 43. And she replied, "The ball doesn't know how old I am." The game of life is not played on a tennis court. It is not played in your office. It is not played out in your home. It is played out in the 6 inches between your ears, inside your brain. Welcome everybody to an OMB, which is an Oh My Brain episode of Happy Soul, where we are going to explore the science of your brain. We're going to explore your programming. We're going to explore how your programming affects your decisions, which therefore affect your reality. We have with us in this particular episode, Dr. David Lincoln, Master NLP practitioner, trainer, who is going to explain the science of your brain, why you react the way you react, and what is it that you can do to change that, to achieve the most positive outcome.
NLP stands for Neuro Linguistic Programming. And the best way to understand it as a definition is look at those 3 words. Neuro being the neurons in your brain, the firing of which enables you to do everything you do. Linguistics is the language that you speak, but more the language you speak inside your head to yourself, what you're telling yourself to do all the time. And the programming is a realization that you can actually control the way you think to achieve what you want to achieve.
Your brain is such a powerful tool. NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming, is the science that explores the incredible power that your brain has in shaping your life.
There is a science behind it, and there's also an art. Now, an art is very aligned with spirituality as well, of course. So I suppose you could say a science, an art, and some spirituality, more in the way of it embraces all new thinking that's out there. So it embraces things like quantum physics, quantum mechanics, and parallel universes, and all that brings up is embraced within the realms of Neuro Linguistic Programming. NLP is used for all walks of life now, being born out of psychotherapy, but now it's changed to go into all business, into all walks of life. The best way to explain it is that in whatever you do, you have your tool bag of what you do. And if you put NLP tools inside that tool bag, you do whatever you do so much better. So it doesn't matter whether you're a tinker, a tailor, a soldier, a sailor, whether you're rich or poor, whether you're young or old, there's something there for everybody, because it's about how you think and how you operate in your life.
So many of us are victims of our programming. So many of us go into these endless loops where we have the same patterns, the same outcomes, time after time. How do you break out of these incredibly frustrating patterns?
Program yourself to achieve the best things you want in life, or maybe even reprogram yourself.
NLP is an incredible science. It's the science of you, the science of your brain, the science of your programming, and how to deprogram, reprogram, and reinvent yourself.
Some of the main benefits of NLP is the clarity of your thinking. It's also a question of having outcome and desire of what you want to do, and not just thinking I'd like to do this, but gives you the tools to say, not only do I like to do it, how do I do it? What do I have to think? What do I have to do to achieve that outcome? All of us have goals, all of us have these wonderful desires of what we want to do in the future, but a lot of us don't know how to do that, how to get there. You know, people say, I want to be rich, I want lots of money, But how do they do it? They don't know, so they're not rich. They don't have lots of money. They just stay where they are.
Some people, for example, are born complainers and criticizers. And no matter what happens in their life, that is the attitude they will deal with everything that confronts them. Whereas some people are hardwired to finding solutions. And no matter what obstacles present themselves, all they do is find solutions. How do you turn situations in your life from a negative one into a positive one? Which part of your programming resists finding the solutions? Which part of your programming falls into victimhood? Which part of your programming teaches you to be a leader?
What NLP gives you that enables you to achieve what you want is an understanding on the way that your brain works, and that the way that you think, and the fact that your thinking will create your results. So if you've got the wrong results, you've got the wrong thinking. But it's all right saying that, to say, okay, I got the wrong thinking, but how can I rethink? How can I change my thinking? And this is where NLP comes in with the idea of the Neuro Linguistic, because thinking is just talking to yourself.
And so many people are caught in the same loop, the same patterns, leading to the same outcomes. So how is it that we can escape this cycle, this pattern, sometimes which is so self-destructive, and take ourselves and our journey from strength to strength?
What NLP has are the tools that enable you, as I said earlier, to achieve what you want. For example, you might want to be confident. So how do you be confident? Do you just say, I'm confident? Or is there mechanisms by which you can create the confidence you need inside your head? So NLP has the mechanism that enable you to feel the confidence that you need to achieve whatever it is. Now, confidence is only one of the, 3,000 positive emotions that are out there. There are about 6,000 emotions in all, half of which are negative. But even the confidence is only one of the 3,000 positive emotions. So confidence may be something you want. Maybe you want to be able to access your knowledge and feel knowledgeable. Maybe you want to feel happy. Maybe whatever you want to feel, how would you do it? You have to normally wait until somebody comes along and tells you a joke, and then you go, yes, I feel happy now. But wouldn't it be much better if you could just feel happy, like clicking your fingers and say, oh, I'm now happy. Have an appropriate emotion at the appropriate time for the appropriate event. Now, once you've got all those emotions at your fingertips, you don't fear anything. You don't fear anybody. Now, we've talked about understanding how your brain works, but how about understanding how somebody else's brain works? How they think, how they see the world, how they understand what's going on in the world. In NLP, we call this your model of the world. Now, you have your model of the world, I have my model of the world. Now, my job is not to go round and impose my model of the world on you. My job is to find out what is your model of the world and how can I enhance that with the knowledge that I've got. There are lots of popular techniques used during NLP. I suppose some of the common ones are the phobia cure, the fast phobia cure. This means that if you've been struggling with a phobia or a fear of lizards or cockroaches or spiders or this sort of thing, and you may have been struggling with it all your life, in 10 minutes it can be cured.
Reinvent your entire life. They say in NLP, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything.
One of the main feedbacks we get, they come back and say that they have changed. Their life has changed. They become less aggressive. They become much calmer. You change you change other people. You can't go around changing people. You can't do that. Parents with their kids even, you can't change your children, but you can help them change into what they want to be. And even simple things like understanding why you lose your keys. Once you realize why you lose your keys, you'll find you'll never lose your keys again, because now you know the senses, the way they work. An understanding of the eye patterns, what people's eyes do. Now this happens immediately. I say to you, how did you buy those trousers? Your eyes will go flip, 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 and immediately I know the way you bought the trousers. And we call this in NLP strategy. The strategy. And the way you do something tends to be the way you do everything. So if you know somebody's strategies for buying a pair of trousers, you can use the same strategy back at them to sell them a car or a watch or a house, or make them fall in love with you. Also, the ability for you to speak in public, for you to be able to be not full of nerves, not have problems when you go in front of interviewing and this sort of thing. These are great techniques that we teach. Another big part of NLP is what's called rapport building. Rapport means how you can be very friendly with somebody very quickly, and not just at a superficial level, but more at a deeper level. So when you actually do meet somebody and use these rapport building techniques, as we call them, the sort of thing the person might say, and you've only met them an hour ago, they'll say things like, well, I feel I've known you all my life, or you're so easy to get on with, or you understand me so well. And it's simply by the techniques that we teach, with the eye patterns, with rapport building, with understanding that people have different models of the world. In fact, politicians love it, because we teach the language of politicians. You see, have you ever noticed how a politician will not give you a straight answer? You think they're giving you a straight answer, but when you go back and think about what they've said, you realise they've actually said nothing. I have to tell you that NLP is not hypnosis, and hypnosis is not NLP, and yet NLP is hypnosis, and hypnosis is NLP.
Whatever you believe is what you can achieve. If you wish to get in touch with Dr. David Lincoln after this show, you can tune into www.happysoul.in, where you will find Dr. David Lincoln listed under NLP.